The video for April the 9th, 2017 is entitled, "The Globalist Agenda is Pure Evil." Aristo posted a link about the globalist agenda on my previous video taken from the website redefininggod.com. I did not read more than a few paragraphs or so, since I was nearly ready to leave and go hear my son's band play. However, I read enough to know that rehashing the agenda of these malevolent beings offers no solution to the immense problems we face as a human family. I do not believe that these archons, or whatever you wish to call them, are human or even human-like. As I said, they are malevolent, feeding off the life force of others. In a word, parasites. Frankly, I don't see them as having any useful purpose whatsoever, and why a loving God would allow them to even exist is beyond my comprehension. However, they do exist, and unfortunately wreak havoc here and likely anywhere else they manifest. If there is nothing that can be done about this situation, I have lived my life in vain. If this is some plan of God, may that God and all its creation be obliterated forever, ASAP, as soon as possible. Indeed, I am recording later in the day than I usually do because I got home going on very nearly 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I couldn't fall asleep for well over an hour as I was pondering things in my mind. I still woke up a little after 5, which is around my normal time. Sometimes it's even before 5. But in any case, by the time that I came to the computer and sat down trying to think about this, I reread comments that were posted on my previous video, including this one by Aristo. And, you know, the whole idea of keep rehashing this globalist agenda and going over it over and over again. Why does it exist? What purpose does it serve that's beneficial to any being? Again, a parasite is totally self-absorbed, self-centered, and doesn't care at all about its so-called host that it feeds and drains energy from. This is the global elite. This is the establishment that we have to put up with, that we have to live with day in and day out. And I mean, I had one commenter suggest that it's going to get even worse because we haven't even reached the tribulation yet, or at most, we're at the beginning stages of the tribulation. Tell that to the people in Palestine. Tell that to the people in Venezuela. Tell that to the people in the more impoverished regions of the world. They're trying to impose that negative thing by opening the borders of the United States and allowing people that have been very, very deeply wounded in these other cultures to infiltrate the U.S. soil and North America and places where we haven't had to deal with it. And it's going on in Europe too, of course, in Germany and other countries where they've just opened the doors and let all of these refugees come in and bring their malevolent discontent into a different type of society altogether, because the agenda apparently of these globalists is to create so much friction, so much calamity, so much evil that we will cry for them to bring in a solution. It's problem, reaction, solution, as David Icke continues to teach us. And that's their game plan. They create a problem and they have a solution in mind that they want to impose, but they want to get the people to say, help us. And these malevolent beings don't help. They continue to do their pedophilia. And they try to, of course, they've kept that brushed under the carpet for a long time, but it's finally been had exposure occur in recent months. And these are the humans that play with these archons or these malevolent demons. They play with those and they use their influence, the demonic influence, to again wreak havoc on the planet Earth. War is their most profitable business because it creates such negative energy, and they thrive on negative energy. Why do they exist? Why are they allowed to be? Is this supposed to be some way of creating a better world? By contrast, allowing evil to not only exist, but to dominate a planet for not just a little while, but for century after century and millennia after millennia. I'm sorry. This does not register in my brain. It does not make sense in my spirit, in my soul. I abhor with all of my being that such a thing is even allowed to exist. And as I said, if this is something that God did, may that God be obliterated, may I be obliterated, may creation cease to exist, because it's not worth it. It's not worth having to put up with this nonsense lifetime after lifetime after lifetime on this vicious cycle of reincarnation, which some people don't believe it's true, but even the Bible teaches who do they say that I am? And some suggested that Jesus was the reincarnation of somebody that was already gone. Ooh. So don't give me the idea of it's not in the Bible. It is so in the Bible. You just turn your eyes away from it because it doesn't fit into your game plan, which is not your game plan. It's a game plan imposed upon us to get us to not to love one another, but to get us to play one-upmanship with each other and say, I'm right and you're wrong, and that gives me the right to kill you. That's what the Ashkenazi Jews do. That's what the Cabal does. That's what infests our world. And until it's dealt with decisively, nothing really changes. Everything remains the same. We are what we are till the day that we die, and then we come back again and do it all over. Isn't it insane? I think it is. Anyway, folks, I'd like nothing more than to see a loving God say enough. Enough. It was enough before it started. It was too much to even allow it. But now that it has occurred, it's time to draw a line in the sand and say no more. It's not good enough to allow Trump or Hillary or any so-called global leader to continue the masquerade as being good people and having good intentions and lying to us all over and over and over and over again, and never bringing anything that's any good that's promised into manifestation. Folks, are you as frustrated as I am? I don't want to die, but I don't want to keep living in a world that's insane. I don't want to keep spending my energy on trying to produce solutions. And the solution is to take this evil out. The solution is to transform us. Will that happen? I don't know. I wish it would. I want it to, but I don't know. Thank you anyway for listening and considering my point of view. Namaste.